Well, howdy, and thanks for tuning in to Dakota Cowboy here on Beck TV, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. I'm Wild Bill, and I'm the media director here at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora. And along with Tisa Peak of Dakota Horse Magazine, we bring you Dakota Cowboy each and every week. And thanks for watching. Look at you. You could be doing a lot of things right now, and there's a lot of other things you could be watching, but you're sitting there watching our TV program right now. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Dakota Community Bank and Trust has a program called the Foundation Female Program, and this was established to assist the next generation of livestock producers. It gives them a chance at a 0% loan to purchase 5 females. Wow, it's really jump-started the career of a lot of young folks, and maybe there's somebody in your family that would be interested. Have them check it out online at dakotacommunitybank.com, or better yet, stop in the branch nearest you. Dakota Community Bank and Trust, very proud of their Foundation Female Program. Now, at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, we have a lot of events throughout the year, and one that we want to focus on right now and invite you to is East Greets West. It's going to be held on October 20th in Valley City at the Eagles Club there. And it's a fundraiser for the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. It includes a social, a dinner, a lively auction, and this year our featured guest speaker is Jeff Gould telling America's story. I happen to be involved with Jeff at his presentation of America's story at Mount Rushmore this summer. And I tell you, it leaves you speechless. It's very impactful, very moving, and it really helps you look at the history of the United States in a whole new way. He told the story of what we inherited from the 4 faces that are represented at Mount Rushmore. You will be enlightened, you will be moved when you hear Jeff Gould's America's Story. Please get your tickets now at northdakotaCowboy.org for East Greets West, October 20th at the Valley City Eagles Club. We hope to see you there. Now, coming up on the program today, Tisa Peak spent some time at the Big Iron Ag Show in Fargo recently, and she visits with Kelly Melius, who is with Common Sense Manufacturing. He manufactures a lot of great products that are used in agriculture, in farming and ranching, and Tisa talks to him about several of those products, and you will be enlightened when you find out some of the things that go behind Common Sense Manufacturing from Faulkton, South Dakota. Original Rodeo LLC is producing the Brad Germanson Extreme Bronc Riding, which is coming up next weekend, October 6th and 7th. And one of the driving members of that organization is Casey Fredericks from originally Twin Buttes, North Dakota. And he is a strong supporter of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. And he and several others have established Original Rodeo LLC. And we're going to invite you to the Brad Germanson Extreme Bronc Ride at Four Bears Casino coming up next weekend. And we'll visit with Casey coming up here in just a moment. Our North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame inductee of the week was inducted in 2022 in the category of Modern Era Rodeo. Not only does he have talents with a rope, but he trained and rode his own horses as well. You're going to meet Tom Needham, our North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Hall of Honoree inductee of the week, brought to you by Torgerson Auto Center in Bismarck. And our student rodeo athlete of the week this week is from Velva, and his name is Carson Hildre. A well-deserved honor to be the next Dakota Cowboy student rodeo athlete of the week, and that'll be coming up later in the program. So there you go. We got a lot of moving parts to our show today, but we're going to put them all together and present them to you right there in your living room today here on Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust, and we are back in just a moment.
Man has worked in sync with Mother Nature since the beginning of time. Relying on her to provide sufficient moisture every growing season is a roll of the dice. You can now insure your pastures and rangelands with Rainfall Index policy available from Chamely Financial. This will give you the peace of mind by knowing you will be protected from the adverse effects of Mother Nature. Contact Chamely Financial today, 719-338-3428, or go to chamelyfinancial.com.
Stop out to our facility, Highway 22 South. Let us build a truck for you.
Unique gifts, an assortment of beautiful jewelry, and much more can be found at Dakota Territory Jewelry and Gifts in Medora. Montana silver necklaces and earrings, Black Hills gold and sterling silver jewelry, many Native American made pieces too, and a selection of art pieces. They carry healthy products made right here in North Dakota, and to satisfy your sweet tooth, fall in love with the best fudge around and the freshest taffy made right in the store. Buy it by the pound in a variety of flavors. Dakota Territory Jewelry and Gifts in historic Medora. Wild Bill here for Steffensen Sellinger Chiropractic of Dickinson. Recently, I tore my meniscus, and after an MRI, doctors gave me 3 options: prescription meds, reoccurring injections, or surgery, which wasn't guaranteed to rid me of the pain. Then someone suggested I try soft wave therapy. Steffensen Sellinger Chiropractic of Dickinson are skilled in this innovative treatment. After a few treatments, my pain went from an 8 down to a 1. See if soft wave therapy is right for you. Contact Steffensen Sellinger Chiropractic today.
Whether you have guns, ammo, vehicles, toys, or collectibles, consign with Last Chance Auction and we can help put money in your pocket. Give us a call at 334-SOLD or visit lastchancesd.com for upcoming auctions.
Hi, Rich from Law Motors. 45 years ago, Dad started selling cars. 35 years ago, I started selling cars. And 15 years ago, Tyler started selling cars.
And I'm Mom, and I told all of them, just be nice.
JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision has built a reputation as one of the most reputable and reliable body shops in this region. With nearly 30 years in business, customers count on JR's to get it done right the first time. They'll work with your insurance company to smoothen the process. From their 40-foot frame straightening machine, Sickens paint, and the latest technology in the repair industry, they're the only name you need to know. For auto, semi, RV, and trailer repair, it's JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision. North Dickinson, call 701-483-6778. JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision.
Welcome back to Dakota Cowboy on Beck TV, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. We are at the Big Iron Egg Show in Fargo, North Dakota, and I am joined with Kelly Milius of Fulton, South Dakota, and he has quite the story. 20 years in the business of custom building?
Well, a little bit of custom. So everything we made is stuff I made for me in my own operation, is kind of how it all started. I was looking for a unique, different bale feeder that was more efficient for feeding calves. At the time I was feeding backgrounding heifers, so we weren't doing a concentrated ration, we were growing ration. And so we always had free choice of hay, and I had so much frustration with the calves, those 6, 7, 8 weight calves getting inside the bale feeders because they couldn't reach the middle. So we had created a cradle style bale feeder that is normal to a lot of people now, but at the time it was extremely unique. I actually got a patent on it back, probably about 24 years ago. I got a patent on it, and the patent's off now. But yeah, so it's designed so that the bigger animals get held back farther, so they weren't stepping on the feed that came out of the feeder.
So you're preventing waste.
Trying to prevent as much waste as we can, but yet have that convenience, if you will, of a 5-weight calf to be able to reach the middle of the bale. So you put a bale in a ring and they can't reach the middle when they're little. Their necks aren't long enough, they're not big enough. So we swerved into that, and then we did that, and then that was the only product I had when I first started. And
did you weld it? Did you have a welder?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm a farm kid, so I grew up, welding and whatnot, and so I welded the first dozen probably with a stick welder, because it's what I had in the shop, and then I swerved into, I bought a MIG welder and started with that, just as myself. I would do that at night when I was done doing chores. That's how I started, and then I started hiring some friends, and had some full-time employees and stuff, and the product line just grew and grew as time went on.
So adding to that, what are the products you have now?
So we make, mainly I try to stick in the livestock vein for advertising. It's just more efficient. And so it's calf shelters, it's that bale feeders, of course, and several different kinds now. Windbreak, continuous fence panels, freestanding panels, a bunch of different kinds of feed bunks. We make a hydraulic wire winder. That's actually something that ships all over the U.S. And then we do some in the summertime when the cows are standing knee deep in grass. They don't need bale feeders and feed bunks. So our sales would always drop. Well, then I had to figure out what to do with my hired men. So we swerved into some other products, and we've made some cabbing sheds and horse shelters, and as just like garages, like 2-stall freestanding steel garages that you can set down and put on your place and that kind of thing. We even got into, in the last probably 10 years or so, we've gotten into making picnic tables and park benches and park shelters. We make a really cool shooting table. That's a very heavy-duty shooting table with adjustable seats, and it can shoot a left-handed shooter and a right-handed shooter for target practice. And those go to like shooting ranges, all over the United States as well too. So
the further this conversation leads, I'm realizing you're an inventor.
Well,
an all-American made. I love that.
Well, I'm a farm kid, and so when you were farming and growing up through the 80s, and going away to college in the 80s, and you come back home and you want something, you can't afford to go buy everything. And then a lot of times what was there wasn't what I wanted, and so I just put my own spin on stuff. I took that wire winder that's over there beside you, that's a deal where I had a neighbor who had one kind, and my dad and my grandpa had a different kind, and ours broke, and we borrowed the neighbors, and I basically took what I liked out of both of them and made my own. That's how it
this wire winder, which I'm going to get a shot of.
Yeah.
Does it have an hydraulic attachment, or?
It actually is a hydraulic wire winder that will mount on the 3-point hitch of a tractor, but you can also put it on a skid steer. We make a skid steer plate for that too. So a lot of guys with skid steers, but it's handy in any direction you use. But what's unique about it is years ago, they had what was called the check wire corn planter. And the check wire corn planter had little knots on the wire every so often, and that was your population. So every time a knot would go through, it would drop a seed out. And I'm assuming you're younger than a lot of the older guys that are around here, so you've never seen one.
I appreciate this.
Yeah, okay. But it's cool because that you would buy your population based on the knots on the wire, and that's how they did their population. Well, they had a deal when they rolled the wire up at the end of the day, because they strung it all across the whole field, and they drove, and it came through a pocket, and it would drop a seed. So at the end of the day, they had to roll it up. And John Deere and International both had their own version of it. And we're going back 70 years, or 75 years. And so I started because my grandpa had one in the trees, and I saw it. I'm like, oh, I think that would work really cool on this winder to make the wire nice and even. So we redid that basically, because I bought a few from parts stores that were, believe it or not, still around, and then we had to recreate it and make our own molds and do our, had it done at a foundry. But I always tell everybody, when I started the business, there really wasn't a lot of, like a feed bunk that I created, a bottomless feed bunk. There was only one other guy making a bottomless feed bunk when I started. And there was some issues with it that I hated, because I built one kind of like it, and I didn't like it at all. And so I modified it in my own use. I realized what I had to do to make it more efficient and make it more comfortable for the cattle to eat out of. So I would say I don't build stuff for the price. I build stuff the way I would want it if I was farming and ranching, which I do myself. And I'm going to sell it. And if people want it, they can buy it. If they want to have the cheapest, they're going to have to go buy it. The biggest thing, and everybody will hear this from anybody who's an entrepreneur, if you will, is that it's going to be a lot more work than they think it's going to be when they first start. Everybody says, oh, you own your own business, you can set your hours. No, you really can't, because your boss, who is the customer, we used to, one of the biggest fights my wife and I ever had was when we were building a new shop. We outgrew our old facility on the farm, and I built a new shop out on the highway. And I said, well, we need the phone to ring at the shop, but I want it to ring at the house as well, the office number. And my wife said, absolutely not, you're not doing that. And we got in a big fight about it, because I would be on the phone at 7 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and until 11:30 at night sometimes, because we're so close to the river, so we have that time zone. And I answered the phone no matter what. And I've gotten better with it now, and I don't do it as much, but it's still,
that's what it takes.
It's part of the package. It really is.
So you've been coming to the Big Iron Egg Show, you said, since September 11th.
The year after the 9/11 happened. Yep. I couldn't get a spot before that. I had tried, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it sounds like it was a bad show, because everybody left to go watch the news and everything, So, but consequently, so then I did get a booth the following year. And so it's that was about in the 3rd year of doing business. I'd finally gotten a pretty good dealer up here, and so I came up to work with him and have a booth, so, yeah.
What have you noticed here through all that time? Has there been changes in the ag industry, like predominantly that you see, or? There
is, yeah, tech. Tech is that's been really interesting to see. I'm just old enough that I was before it, and now I'm in it, and so the tech part of it and all the technology that's based stuff that's here. All the farm shows, because I do the Black Hills Stock Show and I do one in Vermilion and State Fair, Dakota Fest, so I do quite a few throughout the year, and they're all going through a bit of an evolution where the products are changing, what's at the shows and stuff like that. But, I would say that they have their ups and flows. They'll have really good years where there's a ton of people, and then there's years where it's way down. It used to be a recreation or a getaway or whatever for a lot of guys. Well, now everything's on the phone, so they can find out everything about all this stuff that's here on a phone. They don't really have to come. But a lot of people want that personal contact as well. And so I think it's still important for us guys that are selling to the front rancher to be able to come and show up. Yep, just be there and have a conversation.
Even get this story.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah, I go to these shows. I've been doing these shows now, some of them for 22 years. And I mean, it's just fun because I have people that I know from those towns that bought from me the very first year or the second year or whatever. And they come up and they don't really need anything, but they'll come up and they'll sit down in the other chair. I always have two. And they'll come and they'll sit down and we'll just talk about their kids, my kids, what they're doing. I burned up a tractor here a couple of years ago and everybody knew about it. And we talk about it. What did I replace it with? And, as life goes on, you get friendships. And they're guys, I don't even know their names, but I know them and I talk to them every year. And we start where we left off the year before. So, yeah.
I think that's what it's all about.
It is. It's a common interest and it's a love of ag.
Yes.
And the love of livestock.
Being able to talk about it.
Yep.
Okay. What's this little thing you have here on the
So it's called we call it a bull comb. What it is I raise registered Red Angus in partnership. It's called Rhodes Red Angus. And I partnered with a couple of brothers that used to work for me for an after school job. And then after they got to high school for a while in summer when they were going to college or whatever, well, they got into cattle really big. And they were on a place that they were leasing and had a good Red Angus herd. And I wanted to get back into cattle because I'd been out for a while with this crazy business that just took over my life. And so I told my wife, I want to get back in someday, but I want really good ones. And this young man, Jordan Rhodes, just is a freak about cows. I mean, he can't drive by a pasture, a pen, I don't care if it's dairy or beef, and not analyze every cow he can in that herd to figure out what bull to put on that cow to make a better feet, better udders. He's just a freak about that. And I appreciated it so much. When he worked for me, he was even that way as a kid. And I just told him, I said, hey, I want to buy some registered cows and just run them with yours. Well, I'd been out of cows, got the cows, I bought a few cows, had them with him. Well, he had lost the following couple of years later, he lost the lease on a place that he was renting. And I said, my place is set up for cows. Let's just bring them here and we'll figure it out. And they're at the place every day. I mean, we calved out 350 some head of cows last year. We've grown our herd together, the three of us, and yeah. So we have a bull sale every year in February.
Okay.
Yep. All right on the place there. And
so where can people, find your business website? Of course, I'll attach that, but you go ahead and say it. And then a little bit about this bull sale.
Okay, so it's commonsensemfg.com, gets you to our website. You can go there and you can inquire about products, check pricing, because that's so volatile. We don't have that up there. Shows a list of all of our dealers, because that's one thing that I do is we sell everything that we can through a dealer. So like all the running stores, for instance, they're all dealers of ours. A lot of the co-ops and feed stores and stuff like that. Like I say, on our website, there's a full list of all the dealers and their contact information. So that's honestly the best way. You can call the office. You can talk to my secretary, Linda. She's a ranch gal herself, grew up down by Kennebec. So she knows cattle and she knows ranchers all over the country, and
Sounds like you have the right side.
her kids are big into rodeo and stuff like that too, like you are. So yeah, she's very knowledgeable at all the products, or she can steer you to me or my shop foreman Chris, who's also Red Angus breeder and a rancher and all that. So, but as far as the cattle goes, it's called Rhodes Red Angus. We usually have our bull sale, like last year it was on Valentine's Day. We kind of hit an odd day there, and we had Valentine's Day. So we always try to shoot for mid-February. Yep, Red Angus, exactly. Had lots of hearts up. We actually still walk our cattle through the ring. We do a DV auction, but we also encourage people to come and be there in person and actually see the bulls for themselves. So, yep. Yeah, exactly.
That's why we're here talking.
Yeah. Yep. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just, Jordan has raised some amazing bulls in his life. And if you're in the Red Angus world, there's a bull called Seneca, and he just passed away this summer at, I think he was 8 years old. I mean, he was an amazing bull, but, so yeah, we've pretty good genetics. So it's Rhodes, but it's Rhodes, not like a country road. It's the other ways, but yeah.
Well, we have American-made entrepreneurs right here at the Big Iron from South Dakota. I couldn't have appreciated this conversation more.
No, it was a pleasure.
I look forward to shopping.
We never finished telling about this. So the reason I made this, though, is because we were buying Sullivan combs to fit our bulls, to get them ready for picture day and video day.
Are they steel or plastic?
These are steel.
Well, no, the Sullivans.
Oh, the Sullivans, we tried steel, we tried plastic, we tried them all. The teeth are so fine they would break very easily when you're trying to get the frozen manure balls off of their hair. And so I said, to heck with this, and Jordan actually is the first one. He went and grabbed a piece of steel out of my rack and took a grinder and made a really crude one, and I'm like, we need to clean that up because this is going to work. And so now we make them, and we make a couple different tooth patterns and stuff like that.
I love it.
Yep. So that's what happened. I just had my laser cutter that does work for us already. I said, this is what I want. Can we do it? And he's like, oh yeah, we'll make it. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we will be back with more Dakota Cowboy on Beck TV. Thank you so much, Kelly.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping.
Sitting by the fireplace doing nothing is still doing something.
Share the memories with a new fireplace from Keller Hearth and Home and Heat and Glow. No one builds a better fire.
From sleek to modern design, we sell warmth, comfort, beauty, and relaxation.
Find the right style for your life, along with smart control options.
With over 50 burning models on display.
Visit our showroom today, Keller Hearth and Home and Heat and Glow, on the Strip Mandan and North Dickinson, where every day is a home show.
Hi, my name is Jeff Gould. I have a story called America's Story. I'm going to be doing it Valley City on October 20th. It's the East Greets West North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame fundraiser, and I hope you can make it. It's going to be a great time.
We'll begin at 5 p.m. on October 20th with a social dinner and a lively auction right after Jeff Gould presents America's Story. Tickets available now at NorthDakotaCowboy.org. East Greets West with the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, October 20th at the Valley City, North Dakota Eagles Club.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
Medora Boot and Western Wear open year-round in historic Medora. You'll find quality items for cowboys and cowgirls of all ages. Medora Boot and Western Wear has over 1,500 pair of boots on hand at all times. New this year, the R. Watson brand of boot, featuring an all-leather heel, riveted shank, and a 10-iron leather sole. Jeans, shirts, hats, caps, and more, and customer service is #1. Medora Boot and Western Wear in historic Medora.
Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Securian Financial Advisors of North Dakota is now Lux Wealth Advisors. In our current climate, planning for retirement can be scary. Let the experienced advisors at Lux Wealth Advisors take the worry out of wealth planning. Lux Wealth Advisors can work with anyone, from those looking to invest their first dollar to those transitioning into retirement. Let Lux Wealth Advisors be your guide. Lux Wealth Advisors, new name, same great service.
Hello and welcome to the MHA Interpretive Center. It's the perfect stop along the Lewis and Clark Trail and the cultural hub of the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation. Nestled along the shores of Lake Sagagawea in Newtown, North Dakota, 1 mile west of the Four Bears Casino. You can enjoy amphitheater performances, art exhibitions, and educational workshops utilizing our Living Cultural Center. Enjoy some coffee, browse our gift shop, and learn about the original people of this land. Learn more at mhanation.com/interpretive center.
Welcome back to Dakota Cowboy here on Beck TV. We're presented each and every week by our friends at Dakota Community Bank and Trust. We appreciate the input that Dale Paulke and his staff gives Dakota Cowboy as well as the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. We're here on the campus of Dickinson State University, visiting with an old buddy of mine, Casey Fredericks. Good to see you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good to see you too, Bill.
You bet. We decided on this location. You have a lot of moving parts to your life, as do I, and this seemed like a fitting spot because, first of all, you know, the Dickinson State University Rodeo team. Your uncle Pete Fredericks, an inductee in the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, one of the first, I believe it was 1997 he was inducted, you know, and along with your heritage, there's a lot of beautiful elements to your heritage, and one of those significant things of your heritage is pride.
Right.
Talk about the pride that you have for Uncle Pete, who helped start the Dickinson State University rodeo team.
Yeah, I mean, he was, you know, kind of a phenom in his time. You know, he was really good, really young, and of course, when I was a kid, you know, I never really dreamed of being a football player. It was all about being a cowboy, and you know, my family has a heritage and a history of that, and then of course Uncle Pete, he was you know, went to the NFR and won the National High School Finals bareback ride and then the all around, and just you know, was someone we looked up to when we were young, and you know, between him and then of course there was Joe Chase, his first cousin at the time, same thing, and so yeah, he's a big guy in our view as far as rodeo goes.
I got to tell you something. I featured Uncle Pete on one of my early episodes of Dakota Cowboy. I inadvertently called him one of the members of the Six Pack.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And I felt so bad. I mean, when I realized that, things started moving around in slow motion, and Kay Nelson, Alvin Nelson's widow, was at the hall that day, and I told her about it. She says, "Well, that's okay, Bill. People think that he should have been part of that Six Pack. They should have changed it to the Magnificent Seven."
Yeah, he was a little younger than all those guys.
Yeah. He was really soft-spoken too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Another alumni from Dickinson State University, Brad Germanson. Brad Germanson, 4-time world champion saddle bronc rider, and talk about back in the 80s when Brad was going hard and winning those 4 world titles. What was it like as a North Dakotan and a fan of saddle bronc riding that drew you to that? What was that like watching? Was that pretty darn exciting?
Oh, you bet it was. I mean, you know, like for me, you know, I'm originally from Twin Buttes,
right,
out on the Fort Berthold Indian Reservation, which is just north of Halliday, and Brad's just south of Halliday. So I mean, he's a hometown boy, and when he was accomplishing what he was accomplishing in the PRCA, I mean, that was huge. You know, he's a Hall of Fame bronc rider, so you know, 4-time world champ. He's in an elite group of guys, and in his day, he was the guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people talked about him being one of the best of all times, and if you lived in that time and saw him ride, you'd think that too.
And I see some comparisons between Brad Germanson and Pete Fredericks. One of them, they're soft-spoken. They were soft. Your uncle was soft-spoken. Brad was soft-spoken, and I think they just let their spurs do their talking for them, didn't they?
Right, they did. Yeah, and that's the one great thing about Brad. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame guy, and he's a regular guy. He's the same guy now that he's ever been. He knows you He knows you, and so I respect that about him. Yep.
You think of great athletes from North Dakota. You think of Virgil Hill, you think of Roger Maris, and you think of Brad Germanson. And our state does a great job in honoring all of these athletes. And you, in being a part of Original Rodeo LLC, and working with Rick Thompson and the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, you guys assembled the Brad Germanson Extreme Bronc Riding, which is coming up here October 6th and 7th at Four Bears Casino.
Right.
And talk about that. Talk about the creation of it. And before it got started, talking about it had to be exciting. Should we do this? Should we do this? And I don't think there was ever a whoa. It was all go, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah. So what it was, Bill, it's Brad Germanson, myself, Rick Thompson, and Sparky Dreesen are all part of the Home on the Range Rodeo Committee, and Brad and Rick had this idea to do this extreme bronc riding event, at Four Bears Casino in Newtown. And I used to work at Four Bears when I quit rodeo, and that was one of the first jobs I had. Managed the hotel there for a number of years.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, and then of course Sparky Dreesen is a premier stock contract in the PRCA, and that's one of the reasons why we're successful at Home on the Range. And so it was myself and Brad and Rick Thompson and Sparky Dreesen got together, and we're talking about doing this bronc riding, and it was I got to thinking about it, and saddle bronc riding is kind of the original event of rodeo, right? And so I just thought, well, we ought to call our little group Original Rodeo. So created the LLC, and our idea was just to, we all felt the same way. We wanted to, get the best guys and have the best stock, and make sure we had good money, big money for them to ride at. And so that's what we've done, and I think we're going to be the biggest bronc riding in the PRCA this year.
I have no doubt, because first of all, you started this, and then bam, we were hit with a thing called COVID, and that didn't slow you down. It did. It was just kind of a speed bump. You had things you had to do, of course, to work around that, but you survived that. And now in 2023, there is, at last report, last I heard, Casey, $110,000 in added money.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
What does that mean to the average fan? What does that mean? That means that we're going to get the top cowboys, right?
We're going to have the top guys there, and then we've got outstanding bucking horses, and so it'll be, the best bronc riding you can see anywhere in our view, and we're really excited about it. And of course, we partner with Four Bears, and they do a great job with the venue, and we're just really excited. And during the COVID, we did have to take 1 year off because of COVID, but this is our fourth one, so we're just getting a little better every year, and we expect this to be great. And it's our event starts off the new year, so whoever wins the Brad Germanson Extreme is going to be in the top of the standings for the new year.
It jump starts their 2024 year is what it does. Yeah,
you bet.
Outstanding. And it's a family event. You've got musical entertainment planned, and it's fun for the whole family.
It really is. Yeah, we do. It's a great event, kid friendly, and they're going to just love it. Come and watch.
We're looking forward to it, and tickets are available on the website for Four Bears Casino and Lodge. Look it up online. It's a great value for your dollar. You can afford to bring the whole entire family to the event. And do you have entries yet? I'm sure there's names like Wright and Thurston. And
we've got all those guys, all the top 30 guys usually is what we get. There'll be a few circuit guys and stuff, but we get all the top guys. They've come every year, and we expect them back this year.
October 6th and 7th, I believe, at Four Bears Casino. And look it up online. Follow. There's a great Facebook page too for the Brad Germanson Extreme Bronc Riding. Look it up there and find out all the information, and make plans to join us. It's going to be a great weekend. And moving on here, Casey, you've been a strong supporter of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame with your oil-filled business, Charging Eagle Enterprises. First of all, tell me the name. How did that name come about? That means something special, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I guess a long time ago, my dad had a company called Charging Eagle International. He told me one time, here you go, if you ever want to do something, you can have this. And so I never did nothing. And then when I decided I was going to get in the oil field, I was trying to think of a name, and so I used that name. Well, then it turns out that's Uncle Pete's Indian name. And
no,
so,
you did not know that at the time?
I didn't know it. No.
Oh, what was that like, that epiphany when you found out?
That's really cool, you know.
Oh man.
And then of course where we live in Twin Buttes, one of the communities down on the river there before they inundated with the water, there was a Charging Eagle community down there. So and that name has a lot of historical significance in our tribe. You know, there's been other individuals with that name, and maybe even a chief.
It's an oil field business, and you've been quite busy. You employ many people in the Kildare, Dunn County area and around the Bakken.
Right.
And gosh, you have supported the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame for many, many years in many, many ways, Casey.
Yeah.
What motivates you to do that?
Well, I mean, I just, you know, grew up in the lifestyle, and, you know, I mean, the cowboy way of life is part of our life, and it just, you know, you get to a point where you can help out and give back a little bit. It's important to me, and the mission, what they're doing is promoting, you know, the Western way of life and the Native American and the cowboy history. It's just, we try to help out and be supportive.
I want you to know that we greatly appreciate it. You're a fixture with us, and we love having you around, and we greatly appreciate the support that you've offered the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. And you might have seen glimpses of Casey in the background when we interviewed a young musician here a while back by the name of Chloe Fredericks. She was the American Song Contest finalist, and she's lent her talents to the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and she's got a song called Ride One Good. I'm gonna let you talk about the pride of being a dad to Chloe Fredericks.
Yeah, we're proud of her. I mean, that's a tough business, but Chloe's just super artistic and creative, and
wrote her first song when she was 5 years old.
Oh, she was young, yeah, and she's just been full of music ever since she was young. And Chloe actually just moved to Nashville a couple weeks ago, so she's going to go try to make her mark there, and so we're excited for her. She's actually, you know, got this song Ride One Good out, and she's done a video that's kind of behind that song, and sneak preview that might get released right during the Brad Jermison Extreme Bronc Ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
So
all right. Another reason to get a ticket, huh?
It'll be fun to watch that, yeah.
The Brad Jermison Extreme Bronc Riding, produced by Original Rodeo LLC, which Casey is a part of. Get your tickets now at the Four Bears Casino and Lodge website, and make plans to join us for some great bronc riding, and great horses, great athletes, and a great venue and a great time. So Casey, thanks so much for your time.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you. You bet.
Thanks a lot.
Casey Fredericks, he's a good one. And he's been our guest today here on Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
Since the beginning of time, people have gathered around a glowing fire to tell their stories. Keep these fires burning with a Yodel wood or gas-burning stove. Stop in today, Keller Hearth and Home and Yodel Stove, on the Strip Mandan and North Dickinson, where every day is a home show.
Hi, Rich from Law Motors. 45 years ago, Dad started selling cars. 35 years ago, I started selling cars. And 15 years ago, Tyler started selling cars.
And I'm Mom, and I told all of them, just be nice.
Base Flug Trailers of Dickinson is a family-owned dealer with expert staff that know their products front to back. We stock over 150 units of all types and can custom order a trailer with the unique features and capabilities you require for brands you can trust. Our experienced service team is the reason we're also the best place to have your trailer customized or repaired. Count on Base Flug Trailers of Dickinson to keep you hauling.
Man has worked in sync with Mother Nature since the beginning of time. Relying on her to provide sufficient moisture every growing season is a roll of the dice. You can now insure your pastures and rangelands with Rainfall Index policy available from Chamely Financial. This will give you the peace of mind by knowing you will be protected from the adverse effects of Mother Nature. Contact Chamely Financial today, 719-338-3428, or go to chamelyfinancial.com.
JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision has built a reputation as one of the most reputable and reliable body shops in this region. With nearly 30 years in business, customers count on JR's to get it done right the first time. They'll work with your insurance company to smoothen the process. From their 40-foot frame straightening machine, Sickens paint, and the latest technology in the repair industry, they're the only name you need to know. For auto, semi, RV, and trailer repair, it's JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision, North Dickinson. Call 701-483-6778. JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision.
Whether you have guns, ammo, vehicles, toys, or collectibles, consign with Last Chance Auction and we can help put money in your pocket. Give us a call at 334-SOLD or visit lastchancesd.com for upcoming auctions.
For more than 70 years, farmers and ranchers have relied on Dickinson Ready Mix for all their concrete needs. Whether it's a shop building for machinery storage or paved feedlots for your livestock, grain bins for on-site grain storage, or precast pads for automatic cattle waterers, Dickinson Ready Mix has been there to provide quality concrete for all your agricultural structures and infrastructure. For your next project, call Dickinson Ready Mix to discuss the benefits that concrete can add to your operation.
Since the beginning of time, people have gathered around a glowing fire to tell their stories. Keep these fires burning with a Yodel wood or gas-burning stove. Stop in today, Keller Hearth and Home and Yodel Stoves on the Strip Mandan and North Dickinson, where every day is a home show.
Okay, we're looking for ideas for our next commercial. Thoughts?
We have a fully stocked lot. Cars, trucks, SUVs?
Clearly.
We strive for honesty, transparency, and a better buying experience.
Of course we do. Guys, think, everybody's busy. Nobody has time to spend hours shopping for a car. Has to be simple, easy.
Sales, service, simplified.
Perfect. Torgerson Auto Center, East Bismarck Expressway. Sales, service, simplified.
And welcome back to Dakota Cowboy here on Beck TV, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. We appreciate you watching this evening. It's time now for our North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Hall of Honoree Inductee of the Week, brought to you by Torgerson Auto Center on East Bismarck Expressway in Bismarck. You know, these two old ranchers were talking one time, and one of them said to the other, he says, you know, I can get in my pickup and I can drive all day and still not get to the end of my property. And the other rancher turned to him and says, yeah, I used to have a pickup like that too. And if you've got a pickup like that, you need to trade it off. Head over to Torgerson Auto Center on East Bismarck Expressway and they will fix you up. Torgerson Auto Center presents the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Hall of Honoree Inductee of the Week. Our inductee this week was inducted in the year 2022 in the category of Modern Era Rodeo. Meet Tom Needham.
Tom Needham was born on November 5, 1950 in Minot, North Dakota to Donald and Florence Needham. He was raised with his twin sister Teresa and other siblings, Judy, Barbara, and Bruce, on their farm ranch south of Parshall, North Dakota. Tom started out his rodeo career in high school, competing 3 out of 4 years at the Nationals and winning the first of his many calf roping championships his junior and senior years. Moving up to the college level at Dickinson State, Tom qualified and competed in the 1971 CNFR in Bozeman. Tom's rodeo career took a turn when he joined the PRCA in 1968. Traveling to big-name pro rodeos all over the U.S. and Canada, Tom went on to become the Badlands Circuit calf roping champion in 1976. In 1977 at Ponca, Nebraska, Tom set a PRCA world record in the calf roping up to that time. Competing at the amateur level, Tom acquired many calf roping championships in the state of North Dakota. He was the NDRA calf roping champion in 1969, 71, 94, and 99. The Rough Rider Rodeo calf roping champion in 90, 91, 92, 94, 98, 99, and 2000. He holds Sentinel Butte Match of Champions titles as well. Tom was also skilled in training his own horses, earning 3 titles for NDRA Calf Roping Horse of the Year. In 1997, his horse BJC was ridden at the NFR by Jerome Schneeberger. Growing up, Tom's biggest support system was his family. From his siblings helping push and untie calves in the practice pen, to his mom driving him around, and his dad giving him the opportunity to follow his rodeo dreams. He learned horsemanship and roping skills from Mac Kennebrew, Colleyville, Texas, and Junior Garrison of Marlow, Oklahoma. Tom has always believed practice, Hard work, determination, and family support, with many thanks to Virginia and family, have been the keys to his success as a champion. For induction in the category of Modern Era Rodeo 2022, please welcome to the stage Tom Needham.
Good evening or afternoon. After a bio like that, there ain't much more to say. You know, this is just like getting up in front of the class the first day. You look everybody in the eye, you tell them, I'm the boss. You're trying to scare the hell out of them. And hopefully say, we're gonna have a good year, students. You know, my calf roping career or interest started back when I was about 10 or 11 years old. I had a cousin from Wheatland, Wyoming. His name was Jimmy Dodge. After he graduated from high school, he come up and stayed with us for a couple summers. And there was one day, Dad and I were in the barn, and Dad was going to catch a horse. So he grabbed a halter, and me being 10, 11 years old, I looked at Dad, and like I said, Jimmy was my childhood idol. I looked at Dad and I says, no, Dad, we're not using that halter. He said, why not? Because it's Jimmy's. And being the tough little Irishman that my dad is, unexpectedly, he grabbed me by the shirt collar. And I pissed my pants. And at that time, he informed me and helped me understand that the sun doesn't rise on Jimmy Dodge. You know, after Virginia and I got married and had a family, we went down to Marlow, Oklahoma and stayed with Junior Garrison for 3 years. And I learned a lot about horses and a lot about roping. And Nicole, I think she started the first grade in Marlow, Oklahoma. Anyway, the one thing that, one of the most important things that Junior taught me was to show appreciation. Give credit where credit is due. And you know, everything I've done, everything I've accomplished, it all has to do with my family. My folks gave us the opportunity to have a facility to follow our dreams. And Virginia, and my kids, my sister. When we were in high school, I had to kind of sweet talk and beg somebody to come work the shoes for me and untie calves. But after we got married, Virginia was there, and Harvey Billadu and I spent a lot of time in the practice pen together. We were always rivals in the rodeo arena, but I definitely think we complemented each other. We spent a lot of time together. And I have to thank Lyle Cochran for nominating me, all the trustees for voting for me, and all my friends here. I tell you, I've shook more hands than I have in a long time since I've been here. It's just like a big cowboy reunion to me. See all my old friends, rodeo people. And thank all the trustees for their vote, and the Cowboy Hall of Fame for this honor. And thank you all for being here. And have you ever seen the country look this great? It is beautiful. And all I can say is thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Tom Needham, our North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Hall of Honorees inductee of the week, brought to you by Torgerson Auto Center on East Bismarck Expressway in Bismarck. And when you come to the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame and learn more about Tom, you'll find out his talents extended beyond the arena, as he was a very, very gifted horse trainer as well. Tom Needham, honored today on Dakota Cowboy as a North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Hall of Honorees inductee of the week. And please know that inductions for 2024 have been open for some time. The deadline for submitting your materials is December 15th. Find out all the information about our next class of inductees into the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame at northdakotacowboy.org. We've got one more segment to go, and when we come back, you're going to meet this week's Dakota Cowboy Student Rodeo Athlete of the Week, Carson Hildre, here on Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust, home of the Foundation Female Program.
Hey, we're looking for ideas for our next commercial. Thoughts?
We have a fully stocked lot. Cars, trucks, SUVs.
Clearly.
We strive for honesty, transparency, and a better buying experience.
Of course we do. Guys, think everybody's busy. Nobody has time to spend hours shopping for a car. Has to be simple, easy.
Sales, service, simplified.
Perfect. Torgerson Auto Center, East Bismarck Expressway. Sales, service, simplified.
Unique gifts, an assortment of beautiful jewelry, and much more can be found at Dakota Territory Jewelry and Gifts in Medora. Montana silver necklaces and earrings, Black Hills gold and sterling silver jewelry, many Native American made pieces too, and a selection of art pieces. They carry healthy products made right here in North Dakota, and to satisfy your sweet tooth, fall in love with the best fudge around and the freshest taffy made right in the store. Buy it by the pound in a variety of flavors. Dakota Territory Jewelry and Gifts in historic Medora. Wild Bill here for Stephenson Sellinger Chiropractic of Dickinson. Recently, I tore my meniscus, and after an MRI, doctors gave me 3 options: prescription meds, reoccurring injections, or surgery, which wasn't guaranteed to rid me of the pain. Then someone suggested I try soft wave therapy. Stephenson Sellinger Chiropractic of Dickinson are skilled in this innovative treatment. After a few treatments, my pain went from an 8 down to a 1. See if soft wave therapy is right for you. Contact Stephenson Sellinger Chiropractic today. Medora Boot and Western Wear, open year-round in historic Medora. You'll find quality items for cowboys and cowgirls of all ages. Medora Boot and Western Wear has over 1,500 pair of boots on hand at all times. New this year, the R. Watson brand of boot, featuring an all-leather heel, riveted shank, and a 10-iron leather sole. Jeans, shirts, hats, caps, and more, and customer service is #1. Medora Boot and Western Wear in historic Medora.
Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Hi, my name is Jeff Gould. I have a story called America's Story. I'm going to be doing it Valley City on October 20th. It's the East Greets West North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame fundraiser, and I hope you can make it. It's going to be a great time.
We'll begin at 5 p.m. on October 20th with a social dinner and a lively auction right after Jeff Gould presents America's Story. Tickets available now at northdakotacowboy.org. East Greets West with the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, October 20th at the Valley City, North Dakota Eagles Club.
4-time world champion saddle bronc rider Brad Jermenson lends his name to the world's top extreme bronc riding event. Produced by Original Rodeo with $110,000 added, watch the world's best bronc riders take on the rankest saddle broncs in the business for 2 nights of unparalleled action in this PRCA sanctioned event. Catch the Brad Jermenson extreme bronc riding at Four Bears Casino and Lodge in Newtown, North Dakota, October 6th and 7th. Get your tickets online now at fourbearscasino.com.
Securian Financial Advisors of North Dakota is now Lux Wealth Advisors. In our current climate, planning for retirement can be scary. Let the experienced advisors at Lux Wealth Advisors take the worry out of wealth planning. Lux Wealth Advisors can work with anyone, from those looking to invest their first dollar to those transitioning into retirement. Let Lux Wealth Advisors be your guide. Lux Wealth Advisors, new name, same great service.
And we're back one more time here on Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Meet this week's Dakota Cowboy Student Rodeo Athlete of the Week, Carson Hildre. Our Dakota Cowboy Student Rodeo Athlete of the Week this week is Carson Hildre, a junior from Velva, North Dakota. Carson had a red-hot summer as he was crowned world champion bareback rider at the National Little Britches Rodeo Finals. Along with bareback riding, he also competes in tie-down and team roping and is a strong high school wrestler. Carson is the proud son of Marty and Jennifer Hildre, and his grandfather, Jim Heisted, is a rodeo stock contractor. Carson really looks up to his grandfather because he got him started riding. Carson says North Dakota High School Rodeo gives him a great opportunity to grow the skills that he needs when he says he gets to the next level. Additionally, the stock contractors have been great at allowing him and the other bareback riders the right level horses to sharpen their skills to be ready for the tougher horses in the future. Carson also says, I was told a long time ago to surround myself with champions because iron sharpens iron, a message he heard from the great Tim O'Connell at a rodeo church service. Carson Hildre, our Dakota Cowboy Student Rodeo Athlete of the Week. Congratulations, Carson, on being named this week's Dakota Cowboy Student Rodeo Athlete of the Week. Keep up the great work, my friend. If you, the viewer, know of a student who should be featured on the Dakota Cowboy Student Rodeo Athlete of the Week, send us an email, DakotaCowboy@becknews.com, and send a few photographs and maybe some videos of them in action and a short biography. And we'll look at featuring them as the Dakota Cowboy Student Rodeo Athlete of the Week on a future episode. Again, the email address is DakotaCowboy@becknews.com. On behalf of Tisa Peak, I'm Wild Bill. We're going to go back to work and put together a brand new episode of Dakota Cowboy for you, and we'll have it on your TV coming up next week. Thanks for watching Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. On behalf of Tisa, I'm Wild Bill. We'll see you in the future, if not in the pasture. Adios!
Four-time world champion saddle bronc rider Brad Jermanson lends his name to the world's top extreme bronc riding event. Produced by Original Rodeo with $110,000 added, watch the world's best bronc riders take on the rankest saddle broncs in the business for 2 nights of unparalleled action in this PRCA-sanctioned event. Catch the Brad Jermanson Extreme Bronc Riding at Four Bears Casino and Lodge in Newtown, North Dakota, October 6th and 7th. Get your tickets online now at fourbearscasino.com.
At the Set Motors, we understand how difficult it can be finding your next new vehicle.
You don't have to worry about paying premiums or market adjustments, as we are focused on building loyal long-term customers.
Let us help you ease the purchase experience by walking you through the order process. Configure your next new vehicle your way with price protection.
Need financing? We also work with several banks to get you the best rate available.
At the Set Motors, we value your business. Let us show you how.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I'm a 6th generation farmer, husband, patriot, father. And as much as I'd love to just sit here under this shade tree and celebrate my own place on my front porch, truth of the matter is that people don't know who, where, and how is producing their food. So travel the country with Trent on the loose, and we'll find those interesting human interest stories behind the people that bring us the efficient food supply. Trent on the loose.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success, and now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature-regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.
We're the Ladies of Another View. Join us at 9 a.m. weekday mornings.
We'll discuss issues you care about from local and national perspectives.
You'll hear unique stories from fellow North Dakotans, plus topics in the national spotlight.
Start your day off right with Ladies of Another View.
Weekdays at 9 a.m. on Beck TV and online at beck.news.
we are rewriting Hollywood's script for our kids. I'm pop culture expert Tina Griffin, and as a former Hollywood actress, I'm giving you a behind-the-scenes look at how today's entertainment is eroding the foundational development of America's youth and how to safely navigate this pop culture chaos. Knowledge is power. Parents want solutions. It's time to get the power back in your hands and reclaim the right to decide who and what should influence your kids.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. Central Time on Beck TV.